TOEFL! Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe. Good luck!
Please read through the directions or skip ahead. Passage number 1. Listen to a conversation between two students discussing a new club on campus.
Hey Keith, have you heard about the new photography club on campus? They're having their first meeting this Thursday, and I'm thinking about joining.
Oh, I've heard about it. It seems like a great club. Do you like photography?
I do. I've always been interested in it, but I've never really had the chance to learn more. I think joining the club could be a good way to pick it up. Have you been to any of their meetings?
No, I haven't. But I know some people who are in it. They meet every Thursday, right? They've been organizing trips and photo walks, which sound really fun. I think they even have a mentor who's a professional photographer.
That sounds amazing. I've always wanted to go on photo walks, but I'm not sure if I should join right away. I mean, I'm still a beginner, and I don't want to feel out of place. Do you think they would accept someone like me?
Definitely. I heard that they welcome beginners. You don't need to be a professional to join. They focus a lot on helping people improve their skills. Plus, there are members who have been learning for a while, so you could learn a lot from them.
That makes me feel better. I guess I should just go and see if I like it. Maybe I could even get some tips to improve my pictures for my art class.
For sure. And who knows, you might meet some people with similar interests. Plus, being in a club could be a good way to make new friends. Just be open to learning and meeting new people.
Thanks for the encouragement, Keith. I'll definitely give it a try. Maybe I'll even take a camera and see how it goes.
What is Alice considering joining? Why is Alice unsure about joining the photography club? What does Keith say about the club? How does Keith encourage Alice to join the photography club? What does Alice want to improve by joining the photography club? Passage number 2. Listen to part of a talk in an environmental science class.
So it's safe to say it is an essential part of our planet's system. The water cycle, also known as the hydrological cycle, describes how water moves through different stages: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and collection. Water evaporates from oceans, rivers, and lakes due to heat from the sun, turning into water vapor. This vapor rises into the atmosphere where it cools and condenses to form clouds. Once the clouds become heavy, water falls as precipitation, such as rain, snow, or hail. The water then collects in bodies like lakes, rivers, and groundwater, ready to be evaporated again, continuing the cycle. One important thing to understand is that this cycle helps maintain the balance of water across the planet, ensuring that ecosystems and human activities have enough fresh water. The cycle doesn't just involve water from the atmosphere, but also the movement of water through the soil and ground, known as groundwater. Groundwater is a major part of the water cycle and supplies a significant amount of drinking water for many regions.
Professor, you mentioned groundwater. How does water move through the soil and become groundwater?
Great question, Max. Groundwater is formed when water from precipitation seeps into the ground. This water percolates through layers of soil and rock until it reaches an underground reservoir called an aquifer. Aquifers are layers of water-holding rock that can store large amounts of water for long periods. Once groundwater is in these reservoirs, it can stay there for years before it eventually makes its way to rivers or lakes. Groundwater plays a critical role in maintaining water supplies, especially in areas that experience low rainfall. Now let's go back to the basic steps of the water cycle. As I mentioned before, the cycle begins with evaporation, where water turns into vapor. This vapor cools, condenses, and falls as precipitation. The water then either runs off into rivers and oceans or soaks into the ground where it can become part of the groundwater.
What is the primary topic of the lecture? According to the professor, what happens after water evaporates from lakes and rivers? How does the professor describe groundwater? What happens after the clouds become heavy? According to the lecture, which of the following are part of the water cycle? Why is the water cycle important to life on Earth? Passage number 3. Listen to a conversation between a student and a health service staff.
Hi, I've been feeling pretty overwhelmed lately with all my assignments, and I'm finding it hard to focus. I've heard that the university has some resources to help with stress and mental health. Could you tell me more about that?
Of course, Nanda. We have several resources available. First, we offer one-on-one counseling sessions where you can speak with a licensed therapist. These sessions are confidential, and you can talk about any stress or concerns you might be having, both academic and personal.
That sounds really helpful. Do I need to schedule an appointment for counseling, or can I just walk in?
We do recommend scheduling an appointment in advance, especially during busy times, but we also have walk-in hours on weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. where you can meet with a counselor if it's urgent. If you can't make it during the walk-in hours, scheduling is the best way to ensure you get the help you need.
Are there any group activities or workshops available that might help me too? I've heard those can be useful.
Yes, we offer stress management workshops every Thursday afternoon. They cover different techniques for handling stress, like mindfulness, breathing exercises, and time management skills. There are also peer support groups where you can meet other students who might be dealing with similar issues. These are great because you get to share your experiences in a supportive environment.
That sounds good. Is there anything I need to do to sign up for these workshops or support groups?
You can sign up for the workshops online through our health services portal. Just visit the website and you'll find all the details about the upcoming sessions. For the support groups, you can also register online, or you can come to our office to ask about joining.
Thank you so much for the information. I'll definitely look into the workshops.
You're welcome, Nanda. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need any further information or help. Remember, we're here to support you.
What is the main purpose of this conversation? What is recommended when scheduling a counseling session? What time are the walk-in hours for counseling? Which of the following is not mentioned as a mental health resource in the conversation? According to the conversation, which two options can a student use to sign up for a support group? Passage number 4. Listen to a lecture in an anatomy class.
So, the skeleton is a framework of bones that supports the body, protects internal organs, and allows for movement. It also produces blood cells and stores minerals like calcium and phosphorus. Let's begin by looking at the two main parts of the skeleton, the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton includes the skull, vertebral column, and rib cage. This part protects critical structures like the brain, spinal cord, and heart. It provides stability and structure to the body's core. On the other hand, the appendicular skeleton is made up of the limbs and their attachments to the body. This includes the shoulder girdle, arms, pelvis, and legs. These bones are involved in movement as they allow us to walk, run, and perform other physical activities. The appendicular skeleton is designed for mobility and dexterity. Within the bones themselves, there are two types of bone tissue: compact bone and spongy bone. Compact bone is dense and forms the outer layer of the bone. It provides strength to the skeleton and is responsible for protecting the bone's internal structures. Spongy bone, found mostly at the ends of long bones, is lighter and less dense. It contains marrow, which produces blood cells. Now, let's discuss joints, which are the points where two bones meet. Joints allow for movement and provide flexibility. There are three main types of joints: fibrous, cartilaginous, and synovial. Fibrous joints, like those in the skull, don't allow for movement. Cartilaginous joints, like those in the spine, allow for limited movement. Synovial joints, like the knee and elbow, are the most flexible and allow for a wide range of motion.
What is the primary function of the skeletal system as described by the professor? According to the professor, which part of the skeleton is responsible for protecting the brain, spinal cord, and heart? What type of bone tissue is responsible for protecting the internal structures of the bone? Which of the following is true about the appendicular skeleton? Which of the following types of joints allow for the widest range of motion? Where is spongy bone most commonly found? Passage number 5. Listen to a conversation between two students discussing a class debate.
Hey Cindy, how's the prep going for the class debate on climate change? I heard you're on the pro-renewable energy team.
Hi, Mike. Yeah, it's going well. I've been researching solar and wind energy, and there's just so much to cover. What about you? Are you on the opposing team?
Yep. I'm supposed to argue the challenges of implementing renewable energy. It's a bit tricky because I do agree that renewables are important, but there are valid concerns like the costs and infrastructure changes.
True, but think of the environmental benefits. Fossil fuels produce so much carbon dioxide, which contributes to global warming.
Sure, but some argue that renewables aren't reliable enough. For example, solar energy depends on the weather, and storage solutions like batteries are still expensive.
That's fair. I read that wind turbines can also impact local wildlife, like birds and bats. But don't you think the long-term benefits outweigh the short-term problems?
Maybe, but I think our professor wants us to look at all sides. Did you check out the article she posted about balancing renewable energy with other energy sources?
I skimmed it. It talked about combining renewable sources with cleaner fossil fuels like natural gas to transition gradually.
Right? And there was also a section about government policies. Some countries provide subsidies to encourage renewable energy use, but not all governments can afford that.
That's a good point. It's going to be an interesting debate. Are you feeling ready?
Almost. I just need to practice my opening statement. Want to go over some points together later?
Sure, let's meet after class.
What is the main topic of the conversation? What concern does Mike raise about renewable energy? What point does Cindy make about fossil fuels? According to the conversation, What did the professor's article suggest? Why does Cindy agree to meet with Mike after class? Which two challenges related to renewable energy are mentioned in the conversation?
This is your answer key for passages 1 through 5. Remember to focus on the main ideas and tone of the lecture. Understanding the speaker's perspective will help you choose the right answers. Take notes on key details and listen for any changes in topic. These cues will guide you through each question and improve your overall score. And don't forget to level up!